All right, I have a treat for all you Allied Final watchers. This is me, Exel, showing you one of my favorite games in the recent resurgence of Allied Final. This game is from August 2018, so I'm currently broadcasting this in November. Took me a few months to put this together, but I really wanted to show this for you, and I've got a real treat here that Gunnar is going to show us. And when he did this, I was saying bravo, that it probably had been 6, 7, 8 years since I've seen this move, and that's why I'm kind of focused down here, because I don't want to miss the move that he does. So he clears out the bunker, clears out Gibraltar, standard take, lifting the barracks up, builds the one dropship. Everything very standard. Gunner's already spent all his money. So he spent it on 3 dropships and 1 supply to be able to take out that industry. So here, moving up the science vessel, take a quick peek at my attack over here in the east. Decent penetration, but it's not going to destroy any sort of meaningful buildings. As you can see, lured on the bottom, BCs are already way too far out, decide that they're dead, so might as well just take out another bunker. Standard attack. Not the biggest kill count put up by Chris. He's probably going to get around 40, so really not a lot of damage done. Still a fair bit of tanks. Spain still has all his troops left and the 3 dropships that he made, so he's in a great position to be offensive. But look, as you can see, he had lifted his science vessel, was very careful not to attack move all the way up into France, targeted the science facility here, and had lifted it up and landed it. So when you do that, you take over the physics port here, and then it now becomes a Spanish building. So now Spain is being able to build DCs with his starport over here. Early attack from Goliath. France didn't put much of a defense, so that's why Goliath is able to put a real early pressure onto UK. And as you could see, with Gunner as Spain not losing any Spanish troops, making a quick early 3 dropships, he's should almost certainly start dropping UK here as soon as possible. So here, Gunner had taken this. Now it is a Spanish building, so his troops aren't going to accidentally destroy it. And he's going to go ahead and grab this Paris, BC. Now, you wouldn't normally do this if you were, let's say, in a match and you wanted to do this type of strategy. But Gunner is, this isn't a match, and he's just trying to pick up as many BCs as possible. So he's going to go ahead, land it, just to prevent any RAF from coming up and destroying it. And going to go ahead and snake that BC factory. So I was in this game. I was Russia, and of course did not know any of this was happening. So there's going to be a rude awakening a little bit later in the game. As soon as you start to see any Spanish BCs, you're like, what the hell is going on? So quickly, Goliath goes ahead and takes that back. So Gunner was just securing it. Some well-positioned Italian bunkers here. Just sending out the scouts to see how many bunkers. I noticed that the 2 were made here. The 1 bunker still remains that was still left from before. Currently have a 221 hit. Let's see what Exo's doing up here in the north. Went ahead and took the drops. See how many he has here. Appears to be 8 drops. So I believe they're turning their switching over. So this isn't Chris, this is fake Chris. It's actually Chocolate. I hate these fake names. I'm not going to attempt to decipher who anybody is anymore. I'm not going to be paying attention to this. This is my declaration going out right now. I just call out what's on the screen. Norway drops. They don't want to drop just yet because Exo does see that UK was taken out quite substantially here. He is fearing an early UK attack, as he rightfully should. And let's see what Gunner goes ahead and buys. He's got 3,400. Already has one BC, two BCs. So that was his first buy. And there he goes with his second buy, another 2 BCs. So he's going to have 4 BCs by turn 3. Germany going ahead and upgrading his air, going for that third attack upgrade. Exo maxed at 122. Lots of Marines being built here by Penny, knowing that UK is a prime target. Going with the 239 attack here. RAF is on the way. Hera drop going in from Exo, realizing that it was suicidal, deciding to hold off just a little bit. Going to go ahead and drop onto the flank. I like this move. It's going to prevent the tanks from enveloping the Allied troops. Lots of German tanks still remaining. Definitely preventing the Allies from any substantial move here. Looks like the core is exposed. So let's see if I realize this and start targeting it. It looks like I am, but may not have enough to finish it off. Doesn't look like it. 200 hit points. Should have taken my scouts out of there, but went for the core. Kind of a free BC. Penny, a little bit of leakage out there with his BC, but in turn does get the scouts from the trigger. Let's check back in with Gunner, see where his BCs are at the time. Well, I'm at a loss. I can't find his BCs. There it is. They're right there in Madrid. 3 of them. What happened to the 4th? There's the 4th. They just take forever to build because you have to build them one at a time. You're not Germany, where you can actually build 2. Same with UK. So Gunner definitely focusing on this strategy because he probably would have dropped UK if it would have been a normal game where he'd just be going drop some Marines. 64 health, and that's certainly dead. Good job by Gunner. That's 2 UK BCs that have been taken out. One that was in Norway. There's the other one that was in UK. Let's see if UK still has his other 2. Starport over here. Went ahead and took this North Island. Chocolate heading over, taking Turkey. A little bit unusual because they don't know that the Axis are putting bunkers at this place. They don't know that Germany is making a barracks down here in Africa. So just going straight Turkey take. Does look like he was able to take that with minimal losses pretty quickly. Just a little poke here in bulks. Just looking to clear as many buildings out as possible before the eventual Italian army comes in. So able to get all 3 bunkers here in the bulks corridor, but losing a few tanks, 3 tanks in the process so far. And a couple of messers traded back with some damage to their shield. Pretty fair. Definitely this corps should be at the forefront of the allies. Like they you know, if there were still a couple of UK BCs, just throwing like a Yamato or 2 would certainly take it out. Here appears that the BCs are heading over towards UK, and this is where we get the realization of what Spain's doing. Gunnar, I believe, has done this twice in recent memory. There's another game that I was Norway, where he went ahead and did this as Spain, and it was just a lot of fun. And I thought we had that game won, but when you see 4 to 6 Spanish BCs along with German BCs, and here we go. This is the fun. Take your screenshot. 3 colors of BCs going ahead and just going to destroy these Marines. Even with this air, there's really not a lot that can be done. Drops as well. 2 color drops. And with this many lasers firing at you, you saw there was at least 50, probably 75 Marines there with a couple groups of air. And yeah, you just retreat in this point. With this type of forest, you really can't lose unless it's a late game scenario with the allies being able to 4 times you. You're never going to lose this type of fight. So not very much penetration here in the east. Lots of Italian tanks. Let's see if he's upgrading them. When you have that many tanks, it's not a bad idea to upgrade. And there you go. The 3 on the attack. Kraz doing what we really should do if you have that much heavy. Kraz scouting out the buildings, seeing the Russian buildings. Didn't catch that one. This is the advantage as France, when you're able to take these 3 production facilities and industry, and you leave these up, at least if you don't hit them, then Italy doesn't know. Even if they fly across to drop the wells, they don't know that you've taken France. So here, a quick Turkey take. Sorry, it was Turkey. And now focusing on Africa. Because the scouts are there, he's not going to like the result. But a fair bit of scouts on his own. Definitely saving scouts from the France attack. But just a massive investment here from the Axis. And realizing that. But here, RAF coming in, big attack here on Africa. They're going to be fighting RAF versus Messers. Ground troops are going in the way of Axis. Once again, France goes ahead and engages. Big fight over Axis. We're going to see who comes out on top. Looks like the Allies go ahead and get this. Messers taken out. They're going to go ahead and see if they can get the BCs. 2 BCs in Italy being taken out. Axis being destroyed here in Africa. Yes, they have ground advantage, but they lost the air. Big turn of events here. And this is the game that has switched right over. Meanwhile, Spanish BCs trying to defend UK, filling in with the drops, coming in at least 12 German BCs. And Norway is going to be rejected from trying to retake the English capital of London. Apparently second highest real estate rates in all of Europe. And can you guess where the most expensive real estate is all of Europe if it's not London, which is number 2? Can you guess? Can you guess, folks? No, it's not Paris. Paris is number 3. It is Monaco. That is correct. The Mediterranean state of Monaco, where you see many a Bond film played. The castle that was turned into a casino where they use the flat, square chips for the ultra high value games of Baccarat and whatever else they do there in Monaco. But that's right, Monaco by far the most expensive real estate in Europe. But switching back over to the game, we do have this income coming in from the Allies. Yes, they don't have Africa yet, but it seems to be a matter of time. But nice income coming in from Spain, being able to continue to hold Algiers. Germany is most certainly loving this London tax. Would probably like to go for Oslo next, but we'll see what the Axis have in store. A couple of drops over in USA could be useful, but with this much air, you almost want D-Day to happen. You do want D-Day to happen, and then just to be able to block it. Here, they're going to go ahead and move up into Scotland. When you have ground cover here with the BCs, it's very difficult to be able to attack this type of force. Even if you have a a Norwegian drop coming in, you just don't often have the air to be able to counter something like this. So D-Day was taken out, otherwise the D-Day trigger would have happened there, so good decision here from UK, being able to stop that. Meanwhile, France sees that the English fleet is over in Scotland, so knows he's got a little bit of time to be able to push on through. The response here from Germany. 2 groups of scouts. With the ground is going to be enough to be able to take on this force. But RAF once again being able to jump the messers onto Africa. He's being able to catch him twice. Goalie being caught out into Africa. Penny having his number and choosing to put his air resources instead of the losing battle in UK, switching out between Russia and Africa. And this has been the tale of this game. Big attack here into Balks. RAF being able to swing right up from Greece. Drops going onto the tanks, and these tanks do need to be taken care of. Do the carriers get spotted? They do, but just being a little bit too deep to be able to put any sort of meaningful shots onto these carriers. And many of the Italian tanks are going to be able to get out. But as you can see, the Russian tanks are north, being able to take out all the static defenses of the Axis, while the Marines file in and take out the buildings of Italy. A couple of the carriers taken out, third one, and RAF going to retreat. Really, the tanks should have gone out, but the Axis still have not lost a meaningful amount of BCs. Russia moving up north to try to do as much damage as possible. In reality, yes, once again, you'd want to have your tanks to come out, but just getting as much damage as possible. And the BCs are going to clean up. Russia here just going to go ahead and try to clean out as much as possible over in Greece. Lend-Lease is going to mostly get out. Let's see how many. 3 were destroyed, 9 were taken out, DC taken out. D-Day will be triggered. Italy well prepared for that. Still a victory for UK if they can go ahead and get all 6 BCs out, which it looks like they will. And in the meantime, Axis are going to go ahead and push. So all this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Axis have overwhelming BC control, but still are getting pushed in different areas of the maps that the BCs are not. As you can see in France, they are getting pushed in Algiers. Finally, Chocolate, after the early Turkey take on his third attempt or fourth attempt, being able to go and push through in Africa. But that's not to say that the Axis have nothing to say in response to that. I'm going to go ahead and send the BCs up into Leningrad. Rest of the Axis troops are funneling in. See where they decide to hit next, having already cleared Norway. They're going to really like hitting these supply depots. And especially like seeing that the UK's air is here in northern Poland. Make that Norway. Everyone's filing up north. And once these supply depots are taken out, then Norway is going to be supply blocked and really can't do anything. Big investment here from the Axis to go ahead and stunt Norway. They've got all their tanks filing through. Probably want to put them down here into Oslo or down into the southern portion of Norway. That way it's easy to move your BCs back and forth to either protect the tanks or go back down into Berlin. Definitely a big target would be these Italian tanks for Russia. You either decide you want to clean these up, or you attack into the Central European provinces. Actually appears to be a split call. We have Norway and UK going here into Norway, with the Germany going ahead and taking out Oslo. He absolutely did get the tax for that. As you can see, Oslo 1,000, 7,200 for Germany at the moment. Really nice tax. And as Russia just going to try to overwhelm Italy, with all things being equal, should be able to do that. Should be getting these tanks out of here. Definitely losing too much for it to be worth it. I'm gonna run these back to these filled bunkers. BC still have not been taken out. Africa has been taken out by France. He's gone ahead and taxed all that. UK has a number of veteran troops. Germany making appears to be messers. Let's have a peek. Absolutely are. They know they have enough BCs. They need mobility at this moment. 3-3 for the BCs of Germany. 1-1-1 for Gunner. Gunner does have 3,100, so let's see what he does, whether he continues to make BCs or not. Would probably love to have that Africa tax back, but may just decide to build a couple more BCs. Currently sitting at 177 for supply count. So the second highest of the game is Spain, which really should not be happening in most games, and almost certainly, and whenever that does happen, the Axis do win. Just from the supply count from the BCs, as well as the amount of troops that he has on east, which are both on ground and in drops. Looks like they're waiting for a final east. Appears to be a precarious situation for the Allies. They really don't have many ways to destroy this fleet. The most likely would be a 4 times east with going through bulks with a number of UK and France troops, and then yeah, I mean going through Turkey with those, and then bulks with the Russian and remaining French army. Having a fight around here, but Axis is not going to let that happen. They're going to go ahead and attack. 25 minutes into this game, number of Spanish BCs looks like about 7. It's hard to get an exact number. 4 down here. There's much more than 7. Maybe 10. There you go. Look at that. Spanish BCs. 11 Spanish BCs. I love it. Good job, Gunner. A 211 Spanish supply count. I don't think I've ever seen that. This might be a first, at least in recent memory. BC's over ground. Flank coming in. The call's been heard. France is engaging into the south. Troops being funneled in, and already the French army to destroy just because there's too many BCs. We've got nearly 30 BCs here, and it's really hard to coordinate. It's not impossible, but just very difficult to coordinate enough troops to be able to destroy 30 BCs. Now that fire lag has not been a factor for a number of months now. And BC's being up there, and that's about all she wrote. And it looks like at least 11 BCs for Spain. Germany being able to keep hers. And the end of the game. There you have it. An over 200 supply count from Gunner, 365 kills. And we get to see it. 3 countries BCs, what are you going to do? And the question, and what was shown there is throw troops at it and end up dying in the process. 27 minutes here, casting this in November of 2018. Gunner with the Spanish drop strategy Allied final, StarCraft Brood War.